Hello, I'm Richard Hooper and this is SatTV Week. Now I'm pleased to be joined by Ray Powers of Walton De-Ice. Ray, we spoke at IBC and we talked about your specialist products. What developments has the company been pursuing since then?
You're right, and thanks again, Richard. I enjoyed our last meeting and interview and appreciate that honor. We discussed last time the CE-approved gas heater specifically for the European market. As trends change, requirements tighten up, and we were ahead of the game on that. We took one step further, and that is the controls. The power distribution panels, or the power controls that control the system itself, the heaters all the way to the knock. And those controls were not previously CE certified. And so at this time we've taken those steps, and we have a number of our European customers have now begun to make upgrades to the newer controls because they're CE certified. And I think that's probably in the 9 months since we last spoke has been the biggest change.
Now your equipment is particularly suited to very cold air, and we're now out in the Asia Pacific. What are you pursuing out here?
Well, we're trying to break the ice into China, so to speak. Last year, about this time, we made, to our knowledge, our first foray into China, where we were asked by a Chinese company that purchased our product to come and train them into how to do the installation of our product. Since that time, there's been a peak in interest from Chinese manufacturers and integrators in our product. The biggest problem is they don't know how to use it, how to install it. They're just unfamiliar with the product. Unlike the European market and the US and Canada, we've been around for 36 years. This is new for the Chinese market. Let me step back just a little bit. We actually have installations in some areas of China that are susceptible to snow and ice. South Korea, Japan, Okinawa, all have some of our installations. And quite by accident, I found that even some of the US antenna manufacturers have sold our product into China. But even the Chinese weren't familiar with whose product that was. Now they're discovering that it's the Walton De-Ice product. And so the reason I'm here is simply because we see a huge market that's been untouched.
Now, copies are the sincerest form of flattery. As soon as your products come into Asia, surely you are going to start seeing some potentially low-cost replicas of your products.
This is true, and in fact, just this past week I was in Beijing meeting with some potential customers, and I was shown some photos of a similar concept that's being manufactured by someone in China. My simple explanation is our long-standing reputation, the fact that we have all the major antenna manufacturers worldwide that purchase our product as a first article. In other words, I often don't know where my product is going because it's purchased by GD or Viasat or ASC Signal, all reputable companies. When a customer ultimately hears that these companies are purchasing our product as first article, in other words, it's as if it's their own and they trust it to be installed on their product, then that in itself lets the customer know that probably our product is better, and it's better for a reason.
So, you manufacture these specialist products. Are you thinking of diversifying? What are you working on next that's going to take the market by storm?
There are some things that we're working on. I hesitate to say what that may be. Understandably, I have competition, and that would give an unfair advantage in releasing that information. I will say that we're probably a few years away from releasing some product that we're developing at this time, or at least doing some research and development on. So I'll have to hold back on giving you a firm answer on that one.
Ray, thank you very much, and I look forward to catching up when we've got some new product announcements.
Thank you, Richard.